Hi guys! Today I'm going to be hand feeding my baby Senegals that I have, and I have a baby Sun Conure. I just have one from my pet pair. They had 2 eggs and only 1 hatched. So this baby Sun Conure is going to go to my friend. Love this lady. She has a wonderful home for the Sun Conure. And of course, we're going to keep a Senegal. And we have 2 wonderful, wonderful homes for the other 2 Senegals. So it's an exciting hobby that I love to do occasionally. Don't always have the opportunity to hand feed. Usually 2 to 3 times a year I'll have clutches to be able to hand feed. I wanted to make this video for you because a lot of people are interested in how hand feeding is done. They want to see what it looks like with the babies. I am not making a video to teach you how to hand feed because I strongly believe that someone that's going to hand feed a baby parrot needs to be trained personally, not from a video. So, few fun facts that I will go over throughout the video. You can take in, use it for educational purposes. Lots of kids can do reports for school on how to hand feed a baby. You can also use the geography terms of where the birds are coming from originally. Africa, Australia, South America are 3 very common continents that our pet birds originally came from. So I've got my exact hand feeding formula. This is the kind that I love because it does not have any food dyes or chemical preservatives. I myself and my family do not eat chemicals in our food, and my birds are not going to either because it's just bad for you. The next thing I already have my formula ready to go. Here are 2 different thermometers. There's a digital thermometer and there is a meat thermometer. And I like to feed my formula at about 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So as it sits, it will start to go down in temperature. I have a 3/4 cup, and that should keep the formula at the temperature that I want for the 4 babies that I'm hand feeding. Those agriculturists that have more babies are gonna have either a bigger measurement cup to keep the formula warm, or they actually put the cup in another bowl of water. I don't need to do that because it doesn't take me very long to hand feed. So who's gonna be the lucky little baby? Come here, baby. And we just did a video on DNA sexing that of course you'll see on my channel. And so they were not fed they had their little toenail trimmed, and we just took a teensy weensy little drop of blood to put on a sample card, and we're gonna send that in, and at the lab they will be able to tell if the bird is a boy or a girl. And I'm actually going to discuss that with that video on what they look for to be able to tell and determine boy and girl. So this little baby is hungry, but I didn't want to do it while I was clipping his nails because I don't want to aspirate him by pushing on his crop. So he's super hungry now. And our formula is ready. This cup I have just to wash my syringe for the next baby. And this I'm going to kind of get ready because they're kind of messy. Just like babies are messy, little baby birds are messy too. So I always have my little paper towel handy. The most important thing is the quantity that I'm going to feed my baby, and the temperature and the consistency. Again, I'm not here to teach you how to hand feed right now. I'm not at that point where I feel like I want to do that, because you should be with an experienced person in person to learn to hand feed. It's a joyful experience to be able to learn to do, but it's also a very dangerous technique of feeding a baby bird if you do not know what you're doing. A lot of problems can happen, and it's not good when that happens. So this is my syringe. I love this syringe. It doesn't have a stopper on it. A lot of times the stoppers make it so that it gets stuck. And I put a little olive oil in mine so that the syringe is nice and pliable for the formula. So this little baby is ready to be hand fed, and he already has his feeding response. Do you see? I hardly had to do anything. I kind of support the head a little bit. And he takes 3 to 4 of these syringes. He's a little piggy poo. These guys are 5 weeks old. Yes, I know. You don't want to do it too slow because they get frustrated, and you don't want to do it too fast because you will aspirate them. So as you can see, there's a little balloon happening. Can you see that balloon? Are you crying? Was that a yummy dinner? That's so yummy, honey bunny. Yeah, we're just gonna wipe your little mouth off. These feathers, the formula will harden up and either make the bird have feather loss, because you have to pick the feather off if it gets too hard and crusty. So it's important to make sure you don't leave any formula on there. Bacteria and yeast will grow, and it's just not a pretty sight. And it ends up hurting the bird in the end if you have to pick off their feather. We want this to be a loving and joyful experience for your baby, that they are associating us as mama. So here's this little crop. It's not too full and tight. It's just right. And he's gonna be ready for bed soon. Yeah, you're nice and tired. You got your nails trimmed today. You got some formula. You're good to go. So that's our baby number 1. And see how, oops, we don't want that. See how I fed this baby? I just take my paper towel and fold it over because I don't want this baby to have that formula on its body. If their nails are getting stuck in the towel, you gotta pick them up like this so that you're not pulling on their feet. And this is just a very simple, you want it to be nice and safe. Gonna rinse my syringe for the next baby. My formula is still good to go. You hungry? You're a little bit more quieter, aren't you? It'll be exciting to see if we have boys or girls. I'll give you one more too, because you're about the same age, same size. We'll get a new paper towel. This is warm water, by the way. It's not cold because they don't like cold. Birds like things warm. You just look like a little duck, like a little kid shaking off. I'm gonna get this out of the way so you don't get your body all dirty. These little Senegals are just beautiful. These guys are originally from Africa, near Senegal, Africa. Found in the savannah, in the woodlands. And they are a pretty quiet bird. There's this little balloon. As you can see, he's nice and happy. These guys they're not like really loud. They don't scream. They do have a little screech sometimes as they get older. They're a good bird. They're super smart. You can train them to do fun little bird tricks if you want with balls. They love toys. They absolutely love toys. So here I'm gonna get a new paper towel. It's very important with hand feeding. I wear gloves just because that way I make sure there's no bacteria, yeast, fungus. Let's check my, so after this baby, I'm going to get some new formula that's a little bit warmer. Because I've been gabbing away with you for this video, it usually doesn't take me this long. And so I'm gonna warm my formula up. Right now it's at 103 degrees Fahrenheit, which is still very good. I like to keep it at 105. If you don't have the right temperature, the food is gonna rot in their crop possibly, especially if you don't have them on a warm element. And this little guy is not gonna get as much as his siblings because he's the little one and he's not as old. Get a new paper towel and wipe your pretty face off. Are you gonna be a boy or a girl? We'll find out next week. We're super, super excited. Your moms are gonna love to watch this video. We have two awesome mommies that are going to be taking these babies. Okay, there's that one. All right, so I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to get some new formula that's warmed up for my Sun Conure. Okay, I've got new formula. You can microwave it if you have to. I do not recommend microwaving because of the hot spots, and if you overheat it too hot, then you are ruining all of the enzymes and good bacteria that they have in the formula for the baby bird. So, obviously, you want a good temperature. A lot of times I buy a bigger container. This is just the container that I keep it in. I buy it in a 5-pound bag. So I do not ever reuse my formula. It's just not even worth it. I dump it out in the sink and get new formula. I get it on Amazon at a really good price. The pet stores are going to charge you a lot more, and so a lot of people think they have to utilize and use every little drop of the formula. And that's, of course, we don't want to be wasteful, but you can't reuse the formula. You can't put it in the fridge and then get it back out and microwave it. You can't do that. I actually just got new formula because my little Sun Conure, I'm fine with it. So we're going to go ahead and feed him now. Temperature's ready to go. Rinse this out. The container that I rinse my syringe with, sometimes I'll add in like an apple cider vinegar just to rinse it, and then it's good for them mixed with the formula, so it doesn't hurt them at all. It's actually very good for all of us to have a little apple cider vinegar. Are you hungry? You're waiting so patiently. Now this little guy, he has a more aggressive feeding response, as you can see, than these Senegals. And again, I'm going to fold this because I don't want his wings getting into the formula. And see, these little simple steps are going to really help so you don't have those problems of, dry, crusty formula on their feathers. Because otherwise it's just messy. And you can have one more too. So once they start the feeding response, I'm gonna gently give them the formula. If someone is too slow, because of course they would be too scared of pushing it in too fast, that's actually gonna frustrate the bird. So that's why it is always the best that you learn from an experienced avian caretaker. Personally, you can go to their house. If it's something that you wanna do in the future, it is recommended that you try to research and find a person that would want to train you to do this. I was trained over 20 years ago by a bird breeder who was wonderful, and he taught me so much over 20 years ago. And I've had other experiences along the way, working at the zoo in my hometown, which is now the world's best zoo in the whole world. The Omaha Henry Dorley Zoo. I worked with penguins and got lots of experience in different areas with those types of birds as well. So thanks for watching. You can email us your pictures of your feathered family or any questions you have about adopting a parrot in your local area. There's lots of places that there are birds that will need to be adopted. So I advocate, #1, for adoption. If it's not a good fit for you, then you could definitely look in your area for someone that has a weaned baby bird, one that you do not have to hand feed. But if they are willing to let you in and show you the baby being hand fed, that would be a great bonding experience for you before you're going to adopt the baby yourself. Or they could even like send a video. I do that occasionally. I'll send a video to the parents of whichever baby they're going to get. They want to see it being hand fed. Because it's all about the love and the process that's going on. This is our feathered family for life. And so if you can bond at an early age with either a baby or an older bird, it's fantastic. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.